Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast with your favorite bearded man, the one, the only, Bobbbaaaay. Back in the studio today, I wanted to talk to you guys about comparing yourself to other people is a recipe for disaster. I tweeted this out last night after doing that exact thing of comparing myself to somebody else. There was somebody else I saw on social media, right? They had this huge production. This is pretty pathetic, but it's just truthful. So here it is. And so I saw this interview series that had this huge production, like camera crew, lighting, everything, props. It clearly was rented out of a restaurant or something like that. They had all these wardrobes and clothes, and there was probably like a 15-second thing of like, wow, man, who am I, man? I'm just running this thing out of my bedroom. These guys have got full budgets and blah, blah, blah. And then that flip the switch in Bobbbaaaay kind of clicked, and I was like, that actually does not matter whatsoever, because all that really matters is what I'm doing every single day, waking up, pushing myself forward. I started with an audio podcast. Then I've come so far, and I'm still so early on in the game. And so I tried to tweet out and post things of what I'm feeling that I think will help other people. And Twitter reacted. Twitter is a good indicator if it's actually, I don't base my life judgments or content that I make off of Twitter. But when I see the interactions and I see like something actually like helped, or not helped, but people feel what I was saying, then I was like, you know what, that's something I want to talk about. And so the tweet was, comparing yourself to other people is a recipe for disaster. There's always going to be someone that's ahead of you with whatever you're trying to do, but it should never steer you away. And I think that's a problem for a lot of people, is that we can get very scared to start something because we see how massive somebody else is, or we could be doing something and we give up because we are comparing ourselves to other people and the progress of other people. And as hard as it is to do, you literally just have to have your blinders on and just keep going towards the thing that you're trying to do, or the person you're trying to become. Because at the end of the day, what everyone else is doing, it does not matter. If anything, you should let the success of other people inspire you. To get inspired by other people is great. By other people's successes and the way they're making moves throughout life, like, that's great. Get inspired by that stuff. That inspires me from friends of mine that succeed. But to do the reverse side and go, oh wow, they're succeeding, I'm not. They're on a bigger budget production, I'm in my bedroom. Wow, man, like, no, there is no time for that. And so it is a recipe for disaster, comparing yourself to anybody, whether it's career-wise, whether it's relationships, whether it's just happiness. It can be hard to do, but I truthfully believe this, that sometimes it's good to put down the phone and not look at social media. Like, I post a lot, but I don't consume nearly as much as I post. And that's one thing that's helped me stay focused on what I need to do, is I'm not worried about what everyone else is doing on the weekend. I'm not worried about, they're popping bottles in the club at night. If you go into their Instagram stories and you're watching and it looks like they're having the best times of their life, guess what? It doesn't matter. You don't need to be there. They're spending money. You're working on the craft. You're working on the passion. Don't matter, okay? All you need to focus on is what you're doing. And I think it's very easy to cut out all of that noise in our head from social media. Because as great as social media is, there is this side to it where we get inside scoop of what people are doing 24/7 around the clock. And if we're not letting it pick us up and we're letting it actually pull us down because of that comparison, how is that helping us? It's not. And so if there's anything you can take away from this podcast vlog episode, don't allow yourself to compare yourself. And when you do, when you see it coming and you start feeling it, stop, take a step back, and move to the next direction. Stop thinking about and getting obsessed about what these people are doing and worry about what you need to do. It's as simple as that. Take that step back, readjust, and move on. I talked about this in another episode, which I'll link up, called Flip the Switch. In these moments when we're feeling so down and life isn't good and it just feels like all the weight's on our shoulders, stop, flip the switch up, bring up the positivity, bring up the energy, and keep moving forward. It's the same type of thing with this comparison. So Stop comparing yourself to other people. It's not adding any value to your life. The only thing that it is doing is holding you back from actually making steps forward with doing the things you want to do. If you're going to compare, the only thing you're allowed to do is let it fuel you. Let that positivity energy of the success of other people keep you going. But the moment you allow yourself to compare and hold you back from actually growing and building into something bigger, that's when it becomes a problem. So I hope this podcast vlog is helpful with anybody out there listening or watching. If you enjoyed it, drop a comment or let me know if you have any direct questions. Share it out on your Instagram story, tagging @PurposeInTheYouth. Screenshot it, whether you're listening on audio or visually. All this support helps. And if you have a direct question for the bearded man himself, slide through my DM, send me an email. I'm always looking to make some of these solo podcasts and hope the content is beneficial to you. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. It is the one, the only, the favorite bearded man in the entire galaxy, the world, B.O.B. Bobbbaaaay. We'll catch you guys next time. See ya.